Hello Spiderlings, good morning, good afternoon and good evening today wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to another episode of Grounded. Now, unfortunately we had a bit of an issue with our recording software today. It decided to have itself a little bit of a panic attack, shut itself down, and I lost all of the data of the episode going around the pond lab. Yay! So what I've decided to do is I've jumped myself into a different save. So this is a creative world where I'm hopefully looking to do some guides for you in the future on Grounded. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the pond lab anyway, as we would have done before. The creatures are set not to attack us, so it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to just get in and get the content going through the lab. So you can see the process of what you have to do when you get through there. We won't be able to go to Burg.l afterwards with the Superchip if we get that far. I'm hoping we can. I've never done this before, so this is going to be a bit of a fly-by, trial-by numbers and see how it goes. Because we aren't unfortunately able to do the mystery machine to unlock the oak tree lab area. So what I'm going to do is hopefully get through the pond lab so you can see what you have to do to get there. I've made all the items that I did make in the episode so that we've got to that point, and I'll go through how we did them and what we did to get them. So you can already see two of them on screen. We've got the slime mold lantern and the bone trident. So without further ado, the lily pad wax is pretty simple. It's these green globules underneath the lily pads. You can just collect those. The eelgrass is this grass that is just standing around here. Now you can find these all around the pond, and it is quite simply a case of a hack and a slash. And there you go, you collect the eelgrass. The boatman there, which you can see flapping away over there, if we kill 4 of those, we can actually make ourselves a pair of fin flops, which are those right there. They allow us to swim a bit faster underwater. So if you jump on that stick at the shoreline, just over there, follow these lily pads to the end here. Now if you just dive straight down here, you see this white light where the air bubbles are coming up? This will take you into a sunken cave. There's the bell spiders that we had to kill. I was quite proud of myself. We took on quite a few of those and I wasn't even scared. So if we come down here, you get air bubbles which do appear from this hole just here to replenish all of your O2. And you'll see the T-Rex model here. Now the sunken T-Rex has got a rotten stinger spear inside. And then using your acorn shovel, you can actually dig up these muddy scales, which give us koi fish scales. Plenty of them lying around. There's 2 in that one. And also for making the other items, we also collect the sunken bones. And those allow us to make, as I said, the bone items. But it also allows us to gather the items together to make the bubble helmet we're currently using, which allows us the 160 seconds of swim time underwater. So you come along this way and you use the propulsion fans here to help you get along. See the sunken bones and that all along the floor. We don't need them in this world, so I say we can just make whatever we need to make. Again, as I say, this is just purely for the purpose of you guys to see what we did actually do before the recording software went haywire. So we come around here and we've got a couple of containers full jam-packed of goodies, so we will collect those anyway. And then you just press this biometric scanner. Oh, we can't use it. Oh, there was me hoping we'd be able to use it to go in the labs. Clearly not then. In that case then, what we shall do is we'll jump back into the main save and we'll walk through the lab. Okay, so we're back to the main save. We've make sure we've got everything we do actually need. So we'll pop that on just in case a spider comes along. Okay, so we'll meet you back down at the door we got stuck at. Okay, so we're back in the underwater tube. So here's the biometric scanner that we would have used, and that opens up this doorway. And we're into the beginning of the pond lab. So there's a couple of tapes and files that you find on the table here. You come through to go through this door, and there is a taste tea in here. So once you come in here, you need to flip this switch here, which then asks you to go and manually turn on the breakers. So we head back out into the water. So the first breaker is quite simply over there, so you just swim over and press E on it to turn the breaker back on. There's a second one back here which is protected by the diving bell spiders. Again, you just swim over to it and turn that back on. And then the third one is hidden in this tube system in here. So you need to enter in by this broken hatchway here. Swim yourself around and back up this way and then to this way. Down in here to the bottom, and then you just flip the switch for this one. Now down here there is a scabby on the floor and another body that you can rummage, which has got us the toxicology badge, which you can see here. And then all we need to do is swim ourselves back into the pond lab where the breaker switch was, and then we should have access to the main lab itself. Okay, so we come back in here, that's all lit up and ready to go. These doors open, this door is now open, and you have access to the main floor. Now this opens to allow you straight back down to where we've just come from. And it also has that door locked, that door is locked, and this one is open. So we head into here, and there's some more taste teas in here to take care of. Another file is here with some other items littered about as well. Another locker here to empty. And through here is the computer which we need to access to. So we head down into this tunnel. There's a hole in the floor which we go through. Another locker to empty. There's some diving bell spiders in here to take care of, but again, by the time you have this bone trident, they are no problem at all. Usually about 4 or 5 hits to kill them. Oh, almost forgot. Just down here behind this clay in the corner here, there is another scabby to collect. And then we carry on along the tunnel, exit the water, and we come face to face with the terminal. So you mash the keys as normal, and that opens up all of the other doors in the lab. There's some granola bars and another tape recording on that table there. There's some more bits and pieces on here to collect. And this door that was previously locked, that's the way we entered just, is now all open. So we carry on back through into the main lobby. Now this door on the left opens, and here we go, here comes a taste tea. There's actually 3 of them that come out. Now he got stuck when I was playing through earlier, so I'm glad he's taken care of. And then this doorway just literally leads to nowhere. This is just where the taste teas are hiding. And then this doorway on the right opens, which takes us up to the main observatory room. Now as we head up here, there's more bits and pieces on the table to collect. Open these doors and we have a couple of ACRs and a taste tea or 2 as well. So you take care of those. And then you have bits and pieces on the wall, marble shards I believe. There is a scabby as well over there. There's another locker here to empty, a resource surveyor. We also have some water, which we're going to have some now. And there's also a resource analyzer down here. So we then head up the ramp here. And littered on the outsides here are some muscle sprouts, which is what this lab is all about for Dr. Wendell. So we've collected all those up, there's 30 of those in total. And then we come up here and we have the computer here which opens up this beautiful dome. So we can see the underneath of the pond. The Superchip is just here. And then there's another tape here about Wendell fighting with his wife. So we then head back down the ramp. Out of this door. And we jump down here. And we swim out the hatch, and as we swim out of the pond hatch, we get ourselves the Mertine mutation upgrade. She's after us. Down here. So we're back with the sunken T-Rex because there's one more thing we need to go through that we did actually complete whilst playing through the first time. Just here you can see there is a treasure chest. Now this treasure chest is actually locked when you first come past it, and you need what is called the mossy key to be able to open it. And in here there's another Burg.l auxiliary chip and a mega milk molar. So if we just use the propulsion to get through. We're going to head on up and grab some air first. Okay, so where you come out of this lab hatch just here, if you take a south down here past this blower, there's a little tunnel down here. Now there are diving bell spiders down here. There's 2 in the main tunnel bit here, and there's also 3 inside the end of the tunnel. So you swim your way through, and at the very end of this tunnel, where the air bubble is, just down there, is where the mossy key can be found. So then you swim your way all the way back out to this tunnel, back to where the treasure chest is, and that unlocks for you so that you can get access to the chip and the mega milk molar. So what we'll do is we'll head out the opposite way, which is this way. There are diving bell spiders down here, so we'll see if we can take on a few of them. There's one. As you can see, with the bone trident, they really are not that much of a problem. We'll swim our way through. Oh, we're out of stamina. So this is the other way that you can actually enter into the underground bit there instead of going for the T-Rex. I just find the T-Rex is an easier way to do it. It's also nearby where our base is, so it just makes life a lot easier for us. Try and stay away from the koi fish. So as you can see, we're the other complete side of the knotted weeds from the oak tree going that way. That's why I find the T-Rex is just an easier way to go. It's also an easier landmark to follow as well, because the depths and, you know, unless you kind of come across it, you don't really know that they're there. So what we'll do is we'll quickly head on back into Burg.l so we can go to the ASL terminal and just go through. Oh, we don't want to go that way. No, we do not want to go that way. So then we came back here and saw Burg.l and dropped both of the chips off to him. The second mega milk molar we used to unlock the max resource stacks. So we now have 20 max resource stacks instead of 15. So that should give us free up a little bit more storage space. We also used our raw science to purchase some more chip items. So we had the curved bases, we bought those. We bought the splat burst recipe, the fin flops and the diving lantern upgrades. And I believe we also bought one more. No, I think that's all we got actually. So yeah, so these recipes here and these recipes here, the ones that we unlocked with those chips that we dropped off to Burg.l. So then just finally to finish, what we did actually make in this episode was we made the bone dagger with the sunken bones, the diving bell spider chunks and the silk robe. We also made the bone trident with the same items. We started off with the pebblet dagger first. We got the lily pad wax to be able to get the eelgrass strands. We made the slime mold lanterns, which is what we needed the eelgrass strand for. We also needed the eelgrass strands to make the gill tube first. And we also needed the boatman, water boatman fins to make the fin flops so we could swim a bit faster. And then what we did is once we got some more of the sunken bones, we came back up and made the bubble helmet, which is what's giving us the 160 seconds of swim time. On top of that, we also got a couple of mutations throughout the episode that we did. We got the Mertine, which allows you to swim faster, and also believe it gives you a little bit more breathing time without any of the apparatus on. We maxed out the Parrymaster to level 3, which gives us a bit more timing to get the perfect block in. And we also unlocked the Cardio Fan level 2. So yeah, all in all, it was a jam-packed and exciting episode, but unfortunately, we lost it all. So I'm hoping that this little run through has given you at least some sort of an insight as to what we had to do through the pond lab. Now, what we've also got on our hold of is this toxicology badge. Now, this gives us a resist to gas and to the dust mites effect as well. So wearing this allows us to not have to wear the gas mask if we don't want to. So it kind of frees up the helmet to have a bit more better armor. So the toxicology badge is a fantastic badge to find. That was found on that body that I showed you earlier by one of the breaker switches. When it first released, it was completely null. It didn't do anything, so it was a fantastically overpowered trinket. So they have nerfed it a bit. So you do take a little bit of damage. It only gives you some resist. It's not a full resist, but it's close to. So it is another option to the gas mask. And yeah, we also got, as I say, we got the Wendell tapes and the folders here. We are missing a couple, so we're probably going to have to go back down to see if we can find those. Yeah, all in all, it was a rather fun episode, to be quite honest, and I'm absolutely gutted that it went the way it did. But again, hopefully that has given you some sort of an insight to what we did get onto. The next episode we do next week is going to be a look at going back down there again, because there's loads of mega milk molars and milk molars down there that we can now access now that we have the bone dagger, because you need a level 2, a tier 2 dagger to be able to cut the strands in front of them to access them. There's also a couple more that are in the pond as well, higher up in the walls, in the crevices, and there's a few milk molars and that are littered around the top surface of the external side of the pond. So I think in the next episode we're going to spend the time to go through those, do a bit of a tooth fairy episode. One, I believe, will involve us taking on an orb weaver spider, which is going to be a bit harrowing, but we're going to do it. I've got belief in ourselves. And then the other thing I do want to do is I'm going to do some work off camera, because as much as I love this base area, what I do want to do to make it more central is just up on this branch of the side of that one there, you can't quite see it, we can get up onto the oak tree and actually build a base around the oak tree. Now the reason I want to do that is, one, it gets us off the floor so we can't get any base raids from the bugs, because as much as fun as they are pretty annoying at destroying stuff, so we may build a little base somewhere that they can access for that reason, so you get to see those. But secondly, building all the way around the oak tree gives us full access to the whole backyard. So when we start progressing to the upper levels, we can easily access all the different biomes. So the haze area, the hedge, we can get to the sandbox easily, get to the upper yard easier. Once we've got the zip lines up and running, because you can now go up and down the zip lines. So it's going to allow me to transgress around the yard a little bit easier and a bit quicker. During the filming of episodes, we get more content in rather than me running around having to cut it all out. And it's just going to make travelling around a hell of a lot easier and getting to each of the locations. So we can always start off at the oak tree and be like, right, okay, today's episode we're going to go to the haze. Off to the haze we go, back we come. The next episode we're going to go to the sandbox to go mine some antlion parts. Off we go, back we come. So it's just going to make things a little bit easier for us in the long run. So I hope you've still enjoyed yourself watching that episode. I know it's not what I wanted it to be, but I'm just having a few technical issues at the moment with the setup we've got. I'm making it work as best I can. You know, I'm not all singing and dancing. I'm literally just using a laptop and a webcam, so I'm getting the best I can out of what I'm doing, and I'm really stoked and thrilled you guys are still here and still taking the time to sit and watch what we're doing. So I'll just like to say that if you are just passing by and you've enjoyed yourself, don't be afraid to stick it to that subscribe button. And if you've enjoyed the episode, hit that like button as well. And anything that I've missed, sorry, during that episode that you want me to go through again in a future episode, drop it down in the comments for me, because I read through them all and I take the feedback on board, pushing the series on and pushing all my other episodes on in the future. So as always, I'd like to remind you all, make sure that you have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll catch you in the next one.